Arsenal chini Arsenal wapi Arsenal chini Habari gani? Welcome to Sporty Monday, or rather should we call it Sporty Tuesday, or just Sports on a Tuesday. Tuko ndani kabisa, tunashukuru tena sana. It is a good day, a day after Arsenal lost to newly promoted Sheffield United, division side Sheffield United, because we still don't know kama watarudi pale waliotoka. Lakini one thing is for sure, our cats, our peoples, the boys, wali press Arsenal, wali finya Arsenal. Kwa wale kama Jamila Mohamed, Vincent Atea, Soni, wale wanasema ti mnaongea na mko number 14. Tuko sawa, sisi at least we know we are building. What is your excuse? Hey, lakini Mungu amenifurahisha sana. Hawachi watu wake. We're joined by Isaac Swila Tijan. He of the Arsenal
horses.
They are the horses. So much so, he normally dons a tie, but today it is a bow tie because
he's bowing out.
Kuna ile one. Ile tie ingemkumbusha hiyo one.
Oh, one.
Hiyo 1-0 So.
Yeah. But he has decided to bow out.
Yes, he's bowing out with a bow tie.
Bring it on.
Don't worry, Tijani, it shall be a good morning. Upondo Japicha is also with us. Karibu sana.
Asante.
And Steven Shitera Pulisic.
Tulisema
No,
ni
Mount. Yes, Mount. Ako hapa hivi fresh from Seattle. Hata ngozi tunaona kidogo iko sawa. From Seattle, from coast to coast, from Seattle to Mombasa, and now back to the O2O, Nairobi. Karibu sana. But we have to begin on a rather sad note, and I know guys want us to jump directly into the game yesterday, but you have to start at home because things are not good at home, especially in the Kenya Premier League. I think Sula did a piece on this, or was it? Yeah, you did a piece on this, yes. And also the elections are going to be held. Is it earlier?
December 7th.
December 7th. But there is a lot of complaints about no money. What struck me as odd, and just simply because of its aesthetic value, is that the board that is supposed to conduct elections is housed in the same building where FKF is. Ni kama kusema IBC iko State House. Office ya IBC iko State House. But anyway, among other problems, tell us what is beleaguering the KPL?
A lot, as you've rightfully summarized it. There are no sponsors on board. There's no money on board. We are seeing clubs giving walkovers, which is a big shame. And there are a lot of questions as to whether to suspend the league or not. And I'm glad the KPL Governing Council met in Westlands, that's the Secretariat, and came out unequivocally to state that the league must go. I think that was laudable. Yeah, must go on.
Okay.
That was laudable because what you're forgetting is you suspend the league, then what next? Have you answered that question? Yeah, those boys are professional athletes. Are they going to stay home for 10 months without kicking a ball? So you're saying there's no money now. If you suspend it, is money going to come on board? If I knock your doors today, Raburu, and try to convince you to come and sponsor KPL, but that KPL is not in action, what are you sponsoring? So I think that was a very sober decision to come with. No matter how tough it is, they have to get going. Thirdly, it raises the fundamental question of the CAF club licensing rules, which I've passionately talked about here. These rules are not yet suspended. They are in motion. They should be followed to the later. Now, we need to ask ourselves, before the season began, was there auditing, or did we follow to ensure that all these 18 clubs have put in place the financial safeguards and all the mechanisms to ensure they're able to oil their activities so they campaign? If we did that, then now, why is that clubs are giving walkovers? And from where I see it is very simple. You give 3 walkovers, you are automatically relegated to the second tier. We better have a league of 10 teams or 12 teams, but they're going to honor the fixtures and play all their matches to the logical conclusion of the league. Having said that, remember we have Goma here, who are this week entertaining DC Motema Pembe in the continental assignment. Bandari will be boarding the plane to play Horoya in Guinea. Now, if you suspend the league, what message are you passing across to these teams and even to the continental football body? So that decision was well thought out of. But now again, we are saying there's no finances. But KPL Secretariat also needs to tell us all the monies they received in the past. How prudently did they manage it? Yeah, because as we're speaking, the league secretariat is still being run from a merchant in Westlands. Couldn't they even save 10 or 20% of that money and look at long-term plans of having a secretariat of their own, a house of their own, a building of their own? So as much as, yes, there's a financial crunch, but I don't think the league managers have been prudent in their financial spending. I don't think they've marketed the league strongly enough. And again, now to get a solution at this point in time, Araburu and the panelists, I think we are in a crisis. And this is a time we need to see leadership coming from none other than Madam Ambassador Amina Mohamed. She's the sports cabinet secretary. What the government needs is to come on board and pump in some 200 million. That's a drop in the ocean. Remember, the government is the #1 financier of sports. So with 200 million, we have 18 teams. So we say you're giving around 10 million to each club to run through the operations. And the additional 20 million can go into ensuring that the match officials are paid and the KPL Secretariat is also run. Because at this point in time, we are seeing match officials being paid by the clubs who already don't have money. And I was in Kisumu at the weekend to watch Kisumu All-Stars take on Mathare United. The quality of football is attractive. It is beautiful. Kisumu All-Stars gave their all. But now these boys are playing without money. Remember to Goma here, the captain, Muguna, and his deputy have all gone all. And these are the leaders of the team. So for 3 months, you've not paid the players. How are they going to make ends meet?
That's the question. Because the first thing you asked, if you're to approach somebody to tell them, why don't we partner, even as much as the government is still the chief financier, but is the KPL attractive enough to warrant more money being pumped into it?
I think that's the problem, because we see Gor losing sponsors. And then we blame Gor, like maybe hooliganism some years back. We give excuses that Gor cannot get sponsorship because of ABCD. Can that also be seen on KPL, because it is the governing body? They cannot attract sponsorship. Right now, we are at the middle of the season just started the other day. You cannot approach a corporate entity to come in, because they also have a budget that they have put in place, that this is what you are going to do from January to December. So it is going to be difficult. And again, there was a discussion that we had is it last season or the other season? Because there was an argument of increasing the teams. Are we going to increase the teams and still we don't have the money to run the league? So there's a problem that needs to be addressed. And if we continue giving walkovers in this kind of competition, then we are portraying a message that is not good for the Kenyan football. What is it that is working for Zambia? What is it that is working for South Africa? What is it that is working? Even Uganda will surpass Kenyan Premier League. So we need to sit down and then ask ourselves, what is it that is not going on well with the running of the Kenyan football? People are complaining about Nick Mwendwa. We praised Nick Mwendwa here the other day for doing a good job. Yes, for CAF. But now, if we sit back and then see these things happening right now, then the message that we're putting out there is that this league cannot be run without money. This league cannot be run because the government needs to pump in money. The government cannot pump in money alone without corporates. And if you're going to approach corporates to come in and sponsor the league, then we need to know, if a sponsor comes in today or beginning of the league, what is it that can be put in place that if they withdraw at the middle of the league, what can be done? Because this is the thing that is happening with Gor FC and the KPL. Yes.
And she didn't even have asked about the Kenya Premier League. We also, maybe after that, you can pick up and start the conversation about what is happening over at Wazito, for example. Newly promoted, they just fired their
Yeah, coach.
their coach. So, mambo iko aje? So, but start with, of course, the KPL.
I think we stop beating about the bush. We lay the point straight to where it rests. And it rests at the door of FKF President Nick Mwendwa. I remember when Nick Mwendwa was selected, we had a lot of hopes. And let me not take sides with those who are saying that Nick Mwendwa did a good job in Egypt. We were all here, and I rose and said that there was mismanagement in Egypt. That is why we only collected 3 points from Tanzania, who would have beat us were it not for the boys who really came out fighting.
But to be fair to the guy, walilipa kila mtu vizuri,
Walilipa kila
kitu
mtu,
kilikuwa
and
sawa.
that is where I want to come and,
Yes.
and say the government did its part.
Okay.
The government paid over 200 million for Harambee Stars, and we saw them take it to a holiday in France rather than prepare well for the CAF.
Ilikuuma sana.
For the CAF, yeah, it iliniuma because
Yes.
look at the teams like Uganda. Walienda kwa weather ambao iliwa favor. Uganda proceeded up to a stage that we will say it was honorable and came back, and even with that they sacked their coach. You see Tanzania came back kwa CHAN wakatu adhibu. So that tells you the kind of football that we are playing. When Nick Mwendwa was selected as the president of FKF, the first problem he made was to engage in war with a title sponsor. That was a very bad thing he did. The title sponsor bowed out because, of course, you cannot compete with the governing body. The problems, that is where the rain started beating Kenyan football in as far as EPL is concerned. Remember, we had this problem, KPL. We had all these problems way back in the years 2004, 2003, until KPL was formed as a limited company. And KPL is the body that brought back the Premier League. You remember we ran sometimes without proper Premier League until KPL was formed under the leadership of Bob Munro. That is when we realized football coming back to Kenya. But I laid the blame square onto FKF by engaging the sponsor in not so good wars until the sponsor bowed out. Now, the only sponsor that was remaining pulled out the other day. The Premier League should be halted. That is my argument. It should be halted because
Why
you cannot
so drastic?
you cannot walk without your feet and without an apparatus to make you move. Because if you don't have feet, you need, of course, an equipment that will make you mobile. As we speak, the Kenya Premier League is not mobile. It lost its feet. It has no wheelchair to make it move. So how do you move? Because even if you continue with the league as it is, we'll only give out the walkovers. There will be many. We started realizing when Sony Sugar gave it away. There are so many now we have registered. FC Leopards and Gor Mahia are kept on the move because of the fans. Because the fans will always respond to a call whenever a fans drive is called. But a team like Sony, who will contribute for Sony? A team like Sofapaka, who will contribute for Sofapaka? A team like, let's say, Mathare United, who will contribute for Mathare United? And now that is where we are saying, we were with Dan Shikanda here the other day, and he talked of investing in football. How do I invest in football as a fan if I'm not receiving entertaining football? I will not. Now, leave alone me as a fan. Now, how will the corporate invest in football? A football which is malnourished, to say the least. I think it's a very sad situation of affairs. And to me, going into an election and you are already organizing how you will make your way back in a very, I don't know how to call it. You said where they are housed. You see, even the problems you're receiving and you're seeing against teams like Wazito FC, they thought that the league they are entering in is a competitive league. They thought that the league they are entering in is a good thing that they will be able to showcase. But they came in and realized the temperatures are different. So they have acclimatized to the temperatures, and that's why a team like Wazito, which came in with a lot of force, is being beaten left, right, center. It has become business as usual. And I think it's a call to the FKF president. Again, I'm calling him to order. He should put his house in order. No one is to be blamed here. I cannot blame Madam Amina Mohammed. He doesn't run the FKF league. She doesn't run the FKF. She doesn't run the Premier League. The buck rests with Nick Mwendwa, the FKF president.
Yes.
I think there's something that we need, there's a discussion that we need to have right now. If you look at how Bandari Football Club is being run, you see there's a professionalism inside it, because it's not a community club. Is it high time, Swila, that we change Gor FC and maybe community clubs so that they be like a limited company, so that fans, so that if you want to buy shares, you come into the club and then support the club. So which means when you're investing in a limited company, you know you have a say, you know you've put your money inside it. Because right now, Gor is suffering because the sponsor left. You'll call fans to come and help the club. As much as they're contributing, as much as they feel that this is a community club, but we need to start thinking how we can change the clubs that we have, community clubs we have in Kenya, to be limited companies. And when you talk about Wazito, their president is always having big words and abusing every club that comes around. And if you look at Wazito, I said it, Wazito will not perform because they recycle players. How many players that did Gor Mahia have, how many years ago, are still in Wazito? Abuba Simomana, Ali Abondo, the recycled players. They will not perform. This is a competitive league that needs young players. You need to think that you need not to bring those who had played a long time ago to the club that you want to build. And then you demote players that promoted you to the league and then leave them aside. So I don't think Wazito will perform as much as they've fired the technical bench. Even if they get a new technical bench, I don't think they'll perform.
So do you think, though, even as you make a comment, something as drastic as just holding the lead will probably make guys go back to the drawing board?
You know, I've asked you one question now, and I disagree with what Chitera was saying. You suspend the league, then what next?
You continue with the league and giving out walkovers. What next?
No, let's be focused, because one, now you suspend the league, there are teams which are able to run through the campaign. Bandari is capable. Ulinzi Stars is capable. So Sofapaka have a title sponsor, they can walk the distance. And Eli Kalekwa, the Sofapaka president, did ask us a very fundamental question the other day. 3-4 seasons ago, they were being relegated the second tier because they didn't meet the bare minimum requirement of CAF club licensing rules, right? And he went to appeal at the Sports Dispute Tribunal, and he won that case. 3-4 years down the line, the shoe is on the other leg. Now we are shifting goalposts? No. Now, when we say we suspend the league, I've asked one question. What next for our game? Have we factored in that each of those clubs has an average of 35 players multiplied by 18? It's their career, Raburu, we are talking about here. Just like you wake up every morning to come on this TV set. This you are living. This is a career. You want to take it to the next level. Thirdly, if we want to get a solution, suspending it is not the solution, right? Remember, 6-7 years ago, even before SuperSport came on board, there was no title sponsor for the Kenyan Premier League, before EABL came. But these leagues ran. Rewind the clock, run it down to the years of Peter Dow. The league had no title sponsors, but they were playing. Yes, most of those clubs were corporate. So I still hold the belief, and the governing council was spot on. Suspending this league is not the solution. You give away 3 walkovers. The rules of football are clear in black and white. Read the FIFA statutes. you get relegated. And I said we better have a league of 10 teams,
Yes, but
and they'll walk the distance.
Then,
thirdly,
then we need
just
to make
hold
it,
on.
We need
Thirdly,
to make it official because
thirdly,
now,
because
how do
just
you
hold on,
say that,
Shitera. Just hold on,
Sony
Shitera.
is still in the game and they are giving away walkovers.
That's what
Then
I'm saying.
decide that the teams that have financial muscles are the teams that are going to remain in the Premier League, rather than going along with that.
But what about
And it's
with
clear
dead
because
teams?
I'm saying before the season began, was the committee, the technical committee or whoever is concerned, check whether these clubs have the financial safeguards. That's
That
what
did
I'm
not
asking.
happen. That did not
Then
happen.
thirdly, now, the problem facing our clubs is all about leadership, nothing more, the management. Because he's raised a question of whether we make Gor Mahia or Leopards limited companies. My answer is no.
Correct.
Barcelona is a community club, isn't it? How are they doing? Globally, they're the second richest club behind Real Madrid. Thirdly here, and we need to call a spade a spade, the leadership of Gor Mahia and Leopards and any other club is mediocre. Thirdly, those fans also need to...
fifth now?
Yeah, they need to wake up because
Yeah.
if I go to a Gor Mahia match as a journalist to cover the match and I find 5,000 fans on the terraces, what does that show? If they love this club, they need to turn up and pay for the match tickets, not bribing the bouncers at the gate with 50 shillings or 20 shillings. You are not supporting the club. And those fans need to get this loud and clear. Thirdly, we've talked about club membership drive for ages. None of these clubs has taken that drive seriously to go out and register club membership, Raburu. And I'm saying here now, on a match day, and I want to give a typical scenario with Gor Mahia, with their fan base. What if they took the 60,000-seat Kasarani Stadium and say, now, going forward, this is our home stadium in all our matches. And as Raburu, you are parting with 10,000 a year to be a member of the club. In this 10,000, you're paying 1,000 every month, right? So, you know, every match day, I have my seat reserved, yeah? Maybe in the VIP or VVIP or the middle level terrace. And I say, now I can go there and watch this game with my family, with my kids. I know nobody's going to hurl stones in my direction. And him, Al Shitera, just hold on, I'm making a very important point. Just hold on, Shitera. Because, no, just hold on. Because now, look here. Let me make my point. Because now him, Al Shitera, he's opted to go for VVIP as a club member. So every game, and he's paid upfront. He knows I'll enter through gate 6.
What they call a season long.
Absolutely.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's happening in the West. What I'm saying is the leadership here hasn't taken the drive. They've not embraced technology. We do not want to run things the right way. We like rather the pedestrian matter of running affairs. So the financial trouble, Shitera, is down to mediocre leadership.
I want to answer. We conclude that conversation.
Yes.
You see, I'll not pay a season-long ticket if I'm sure I will watch only 5 games. Gor Mahia pitting FC Leopards, Gor Mahia playing Sofapaka, Gor Mahia playing
Ulinzi.
Tusker, Gor Mahia playing Ulinzi, Gor Mahia playing Bandari, and then the rest of the games are walkovers.
And that's why I'm saying we relegate
There is
them.
no value for money. So the
Because-
problem starts, the problem, I said and I repeat, the buck stops at the president's door. Organize your house, period. Because to me as a fan, I pay football. I'll not pay to go and sleep in a stadium.
All right, let's take a short break. When we come back, we're going to look at the international front and what's going there. But not to take away from the points that have been raised here, and I guess it's something that should concern everybody, government or otherwise, about the state of Kenyan football. Because very important point also Swila has raised that every team, all 18 of them, have about 35 people. If you multiply that, that's a lot of people. And we're not talking about the technical bench yet, the staff and the second-tier league, and who are hoping to get to first-tier football. So something needs to be done because hapo pia kuna watu wanaweza kuwa wanapata kakiru na wanatulia na tunaendeleza nchi mbele. So all presidents, FKF and Kenyatta, should take that into account. When we come back, take a look at the international scene and why Arsenal wako pale. Mungu ni mwema.